people? Hopefully, this day finds you well. I am Mumble, and today I'm going to be explaining about X styles and kind of break them down on how to maximize the bonuses from them. Now, it has been a couple of months since I've done anything. Forgive me, I've had a bit of trouble mentally. I'm still, uh, in fact, I'm actually happy to share that I've finally got a bed now. So, let me just turn on my camera for just a moment. Something I'm really proud of. If we can see here, nice, lovely new bed, which I am proud to be an owner of. Like, it's not some huge brand, it's just something I've been desperately needing because I've been spending the last few months on a camping bed, and it's been terrible for my back. It's been terrible for pretty much most of my joints. You shouldn't really be spending that much time on a camping bed, to be honest. On the other side, I also have a shiny new microphone, which you are listening to me right now. And yes, those color that is changing color. It's not great with my camera. I've got a fantastic laptop, but the camera on it sucks. So that's why most of my videos are still being faceless, and I've only really been concentrating on showing my face like the past couple of videos. But with that to one side, um, I'm not going to bother doing an intro or anything. I'm quite happy with just getting straight to it. So, X styles, we have three of them. We have, hang on, let me go. I need to pronounce these names properly, otherwise you guys are going to get confused as shit. In fact, I'll just go straight to the style skills. They To start things off, X style is like a third class. So we look at our stats here, and right now I'm playing as a hunter. So right now, like, the X style is the Celeste. So I got Hunter and Tector, so I can use a lot of Hunter stuff, but I can use all of the Hunter stuff. I get like some bonuses from Tector, and I can use a wand on the side if I wanted to, if I'm struggling with range. Not that big of a deal. I will come and get you. Like, if I miss you. Um, yeah, that's great. Like, if I can't hit you, I will pull out the wand and I will zap you. I will throw a fucking fireball, and I won't give a flying rat's ass if it takes you out in this process. Now, the third one, I'm using Celeste, but there are two others. I like Celeste because of the few bonuses that you can get from it. So, obviously, to basically equip an X style, you just go to the class counter, and then you just go down to select X style, and then it's like you got a choice between address, blitz, and Celeste. That's it. Just the three. You can get these after doing Retem in the story. So like chapter 3 or chapter 4, something daft like that. So you can get them really early on. So it's great for you beginners, because this is something that we only as veteran players have had over the past few months. Like, this is somewhat new to most of us. Obviously, I played daily, so I managed to get the fundamentals pretty quick. And yes, it does take that long. It does take 300 million experience just to max one. So it is 1 billion experience if you want to max out all three. I will. I am not gonna apologize for that. Like, that's just the truth. You're gonna have to put a bit of grinding. But if you equip them as soon as you get them in Retem for you new players, like, this is it. You can just equip it and forget about it. You don't have to change it if you don't want to. And then we'll go into this. We'll go into their skill trees. They're pretty basic for now. I don't know what we're going to be doing in a couple of months when they raise the cap to 50. Like, is that it? Are we done with skill points? Are we going to get them branched out? I do not know this yet. I'm not even an official content creator, so every like, share, subscribe, or leave it a comment, just watching my videos, it just helps me out. I'm not even, and eventually, this this dickhead right here will, hopefully start earning some money from this. So right now, I'm not even getting paid to make this stuff. And I don't mean like, I've been demonetized. I was never monetized in the first place. So address, we'll get straight to it. Address, straightforward. So the afterburst, well, the afterblast. Sorry, I'm so used to calling it an afterburst. So afterblast is like a second photon blast. All three classes have it. Well, all three X styles have it. Sorry, I need to properly phrase this, otherwise we're going to get confused as hell. So the afterblast is you use it after your photon blast. Self-explanatory. It's the first thing you want to grab because then you just basically whatever you used to trigger your photon blast and your photon blast is done, press it again with this shiny new flower, rainbow flower thing. I don't know what to fucking call it. Use it again, and you get like this other attack, and boom, you start gaining, and that's the afterblast. This is where you want to put your first skill point. Now, earning skill points in the X style, you just have to level it up. As you can see here, there is 30 points you can allocate. Funnily enough, maximum level is 30. You do the maths. The trigger attack. When you hit an enemy with a photon art or techniques, this fills the photon blast gauge and reduces the cooldown. Each time it's effect, each time this has been triggered, it reduces yada yada yada. So this can trigger up to 3 times, and each time it will reduce the photon blast cooldown by 4 seconds. Yeah. Address perfection. This is whatever, like, say if you're going to block, you're playing as a braver, you use the weapon action with the katana, and you mistimed it. You still get the whole perfect weapon action one time. But what this will do is, like, you can just follow up as normal, done, but you have to wait 20 seconds to get this free pass again. So you need to, book your ideas up and stop having skill issues. Get good scrub. Blast Echo. Now this is where we start getting detailed. This is where things start getting a little nuts. I will not lie to you. I'm going to adjust my camera so you can see me better. So Blast Echo. Um, after you've used After Blast, so after you've used this shit, you then obviously if you've got points in the Blast Echo, this will start triggering like an increase over time. Why the hell is there a robot on my screen? Damn clankers. I'm kidding. I'm not xenophobic towards cast players. Don't worry about that. Just a bit of comedy. So don't go reporting it. Anyway, Blast Echo. While my brain's still on track. Choo choo. Um, incoming damage is gradually reduced over time. So you'll get like this sort of like weird gauge next to your character, and then you get like 4 tiny little icons. That's the trigger of each stage. Now, each stage is worth 5% damage reduction and 2.5% damage increase. Yes, there we go. Just self-explanatory. It goes up every 10 seconds, but if you are negating enemy attacks by any sources, instead it drops it to 5 seconds. So you can get there at the top stacks of 10% more damage and 20% more damage reduction just by getting good scrub, not having any skill issues, making sure you do not get hit by weapon action or sidestepping. Okay? With me so far? Good. Address absorption. This is after activating your afterblast, the first normal attack. So, people on controller, it's your square button or your X button on Xbox controllers. It is your square button, your regular attack. This will increase your damage dealt. It will recover your HP. And then the more normal attacks you are doing until you hit the maximum, your maximum HP increases. Yes, you can increase your maximum HP by having address, which comes in handy. The maximum HP increase lasts for 60 seconds. So that's a whole minute where you're not going to be, bent over a school desk and being told to call whatever's ramming you from behind daddy. Finally moving on, these last three skills is universal. They'll appear on all three trees. This is potency up, photon points up, and photon blast cooldown. Potency up, self-explanatory. You hit harder. Photon points up. The little like you got your HP bar and then you got your PP bar, which is photon points. That this is a natural passive increase. So this is an extra 10 points. And then you got photon blast cooldown. In other words, you get a tiny reduction on how long you've got to wait before you can use your photon blast again, regardless of if it's charged or not. Because normally it's like 2 minutes, 120 seconds. With this, it drops it by 5%. So we're looking at 6 seconds. 6 seconds, it's probably a lot longer than how, like, your dad can last in bed. I don't know. 2 pumps and a squirt, and there you are. This happy little accident we call you. Blitz, okay. Fundamentals are pretty similar. You've still got the potency up, you got the photon points up, you got the photon blast cooldown. I still need to get one more point in this. I need like another 10 mil experience. I do need to play. I prefer playing with this with Ranger because it goes hand in hand. After blast, we've done this. Trigger attack, okay. This is where things get a little different. The trigger attack here is absolutely fine. This is the same. I'm an idiot. It's the cascade. So the cascade, when you activate the same photon art or technique 3 times in a row, or hold the button on a continuously attacking photon art, such as the big laser beam on the launcher, or the with the rifle where you're blaze shot, where you're kind of surfing through the air while shooting things from your hip, something like that. Your PP is recovered, and then your maximum PP is temporarily increased. How much is it increased by? 50 points. 50. That means you'll go from 250 to 300. And it doesn't interrupt your attack. It'll just go, oh, you've been holding it for this long. Here you go. Have some extra points to play with. Perfectly fine. Blast Echo. Once again, same sort of thing as address. So it gradually increases over time. How can you increase it? By taking advantage of decay rounds. So decay rounds. Decay rounds. I'm going to do this with my eyes closed. No, I'm not. So decay rounds. When you have triggered after blast, the first normal attack. We've been through this. That's your regular attack. Hit an enemy with it, and then you get these little golden raindrops hitting it for peanuts. Now, I say it hits for peanuts. It does a lot of damage over time. It does a lot of quick damage. And that stacks with, critical follow X organ. We'll get to that some other time. So any other, this stacks with other bonuses, it gives you additional attacks. So we'll go into much detail in another video on additional attacks and shit. And then finally, this itself doesn't give you a potency increase or damage reduction, which is obviously what the Blast Echo does. It does last for 30 seconds and it can go up to 30 hits at least. Potency increase is based on distance. So some of the like some of the abilities for wide lands and a fair amount of other abilities that I like. Oh, the further you are, there's you get more potency if you are a little bit of a distance away from the enemy. This will just immediately max it, even if like you're right up, fucking in front of their face, ready to like I don't know, lick their chin, really close and just like boop them on the nose, jab them in the eyes. Uh, yeah, this will immediately apply that. So it's like you could be right up in their face and you're still like doing the damage from like 10 meters away. And then the last three skills, standard, we've been through this. More damage, more photon points, faster cooldown. Celeste. Now Celeste is the fun one for me. Celeste allows me to obviously after blast and the blast echo. Now the way these work, so the trigger attack, yeah, use my photon arts, use a technique, done. First, like the first attack that lands will be like, oh, here you go, trigger attack. Boom, I'll hit you with something. Celeste Flawless. Okay. So, if you are using a photon art or a technique, so if you're trying to say, I'm going to hit you with a bigger sword attack, or I'm going to cast Fireball, you get a 1 second window. Your character will flash with something yellow around them. If you get hit while that little flashes around you, it ignores the attack. It'll just go, fuck off. Try again. Can't touch this. Do an NC Hammer impression. And that's it. Okay? After Blast Echo, been through this. But rather than, hitting it like rather than with Address, where it was like, you negate attacks or whatever, with Celeste, it is building down factor. Now, how do you build down factor? Swat them. Hit them as hard as you can, as frequently as you can. Like, it doesn't matter if they've gone down already. Kick him in the nuts, kick him in the teeth, whatever you fancy. Just keep hitting them. Lay on the pressure. Wail on them. The Celeste reiteration. Now, this is the cool thing. If you play as a Tector or a Force user, or hang on, or a Slayer, or a bouncer that uses Soaring Blades personally, but a bouncer as well. If you've got an attack that you have to charge up with like a little gauge, such as Pinion Blade for the Soaring Blades, um, Gunblade, something or other, I can't remember, for the Slayer, something like that, where you've got like a little gauge that you need to build up, and then you can do like this big attack. What this does is the first time you use it, so for compound techniques, this only applies to the first of the two stacks that you may have stocked up. If it requires a charge, it will it won't consume a whole charge. It will just uh, like it'll consume the charge, but then it will bring back like the good majority of it, like 60%. This is good for Wakers and your familiar harmony. I'm addressing this personally to a friend of mine, Skull Nightshade. She's she's a VTuber that's a lot more popular than I am. Brilliant girl, very wholesome. She's more fashion focused. I'm more gameplay focused. I can straight up tell you that. So even for like a Waker main with your little like, I'm gonna throw my Pokemon knockoffs at you for big damage. This this reduces the charges. Like not reduces the charge. It reduces the cost of using one of those one time. So that means you can build that. Yeah, you get the idea. It's a low cost and it's a lower cooldown. So if you use a compound technique where it's like 60 seconds cooldown, it's not 60 seconds for that first use, it's 15. So obviously if you have to use a second one after that, it just applies as normal. So it will be 60 seconds for that one. It will consume the whole charge. And then to round it off, potency, PP up, photon blast. Great. I personally think that Celeste works quite well with Hunter because you obviously, I hate being interrupted with the sword. Absolutely despise it. If I'm going to hit you, I'm going to hit you. Stop trying to run away from me. Which we can all agree with. We want to kill things. Or is that just a little murder hobo that's inside me? Anyway, with that all being explained, I hope you enjoyed my brains going off on little tiny tangents, ADHD gremlins going haywire right now. Uh, but if you like this sort of stuff, or you just need help playing Phantasy Star Online too, uh, watch my other stuff. I do have some older beginner guides. Um, I do have like some solo content. Um, I do have other games that I need to be going back to doing walkthroughs of. Well, not walkthroughs, but playthroughs of. I know I'm a bit behind the times with that sort of thing, but sue me. Some people just enjoy watching it as something to go to sleep to. I don't mind that. Um, if you like this stuff, or if you just like what I produced, subscribe to the channel, watch some of the content, leave a comment below. And other than that, take care of yourselves and stay beautiful, people.